Describing somebody as a narcissist doesn't really mean all that much. You can say that somebody has pronounced narcissistic traits, and that is very, very different from saying that somebody has narcissistic personality disorder or is a pathological malignant narcissist. So there isn't really a human being here. There's just a series of defense responses. The inner, vulnerable, emotional, empathic human being has died away, usually through childhood trauma, and all you're left with is a projection, an idea of a person that that person is in love with. They're narcissistically enamored with their own self-image to their own detriment, to their own self-destruction, and to the destruction of everybody who comes in contact with them. Now, these are important words: self-destruction and destruction to all who come into contact with them. To exploit, to hurt, to dominate, and to damage. Why would I do that? Because it makes me, the narcissistic psychopath, feel empowered. So in the core of my being, in the core of the deeply damaged core of my being, I feel very weak, very insecure, and very vulnerable. And I loathe those vulnerabilities and those weaknesses, so I shun them. And when I see them in others, I punish them for it. So if you're weak or vulnerable near me, I sneer at you with contempt, because that's me punishing the weakness in myself, and hating and negating and suppressing the weakness in myself. The narcissistic psychopath doesn't have any moral compunction about lying. They have no problem whatsoever with just lying, and they lie neurotically, persistently, and consistently. Why would that happen? His entire being is just kind of like a gas cloud of a person who will be whatever you need him to be in the moment, so that he can get what he wants from you, and he wants from you. These are not people who are self-sufficient. These are not people who know how to be happy and satisfied on their own. They have to take from others, becoming furious, disproportionately enraged. The things that I always look for most when it comes to truly malignant, predatory personality types is, are they entitled and are they exploitative? In a relationship with a narcissistic psychopath, in the early days, in the courting period, there is something that people who are familiar with the literature know as love bombing. This is when the narcissistic psychopath tells you everything you want to hear. They appeal to your deepest held fantasies, even things you might feel ashamed of. They'll be like, no, don't be ashamed of that. Bring it forward. Break the boundaries. Let's do this. You can do it with me. You need me. If you give me power and control, if you give me what you have, I'll give you this. That's what they do. That's in a one-on-one relationship. Then what happens is, after they've hooked you and they've got you and you've given them your time and your attention and your love, then they can lead you over the precipice, and they will. Because destruction is what makes the narcissistic psychopath feel important. That's what narcissistic injury and narcissistic rage is. If you have power and I want power, that will inflict a narcissistic injury against my hypersensitive ego, and I will punish you for it. I will fly into a narcissistic rage and punish you for it. But I won't just give you a little dig. I might just destroy everything about you. I might just take a shit in your soul so that you can't live life anymore. Because that's the extent of my rage. That's the extent of my hatred.